Hey, what is going on, Rockets fans? It is Randy, and we are finally back with a brand new draft league. And of course, this time around, we are hitting it up in the Generation 8 Sword and Shield first draft league that we'll be participating in for the new games. So first off, real quick, hello. I'm back. Those of you who have not, watched my other series yet, I'm not sure if I've uploaded it by then, but you'll see what it is if you did see it. But those of you who have returned from GBA and my previous draft league content, of course, I'm Randy. Welcome back, guys. We stopped uploading since our GBA championship clinch, and I do want to thank y'all for all the support throughout that season. It was a fun ride, and I'm glad I was able to beat up Leo for the title. So, great run. Look forward to running that back again. Whenever we do start off a new season, obviously with well, I'll save that for later, but real quick before we jump into this video, I do want to say the setup's a little weird. I kind of flipped my setup around ever since the end of GBA, so I didn't really need to show my face in this video, but whenever I do play the game, I'll be facing this way because my my monitor's over here for the Switch. So today it'll look weird, but for battles it'll be just fine. And for future builds, I probably will just won't have a face cam at all, just to make it easier. But for today, it'll be a weird side angle, whatever. But jumping into this league, this is the Galar Defenders League, founded by the GDL, founded by, of course, Ron and Leo, of course. I think I spoiled my draft here in a second. Hopefully I didn't spoil anything, though. Did I spoil anything? Probably not. I mean, you probably saw my draft, but that's all there was. But anyways, founded by 6-Foot Hacks and Aaron 2420. So big thanks to them for letting me join. Even though I'm pretty sure they're pretty desperate for people, so I can't say I was royalty. But they're cool guys, and I really appreciate the relationships I've built with them over these past few years, right? So of course, thanks to John Jr. as well. He actually made all the graphics for this season. So sick logo. He actually made slides, but I was too lazy to make my own slides, so I kind of just wanted to run it on Showdown, and we'll pretty much leave it at that. But a great small group of people. Make sure you check out everyone's channels and all that sort of stuff. So all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the draft. So well, I guess before I jump into that, it is important to note that we are playing Sword and Shield, right? And the whole big thing with 6v6 singles is that the timer is only 20 minutes. That's how it was for Let's Go. And I can tell you, I played a good round of Let's Go. I played a lot of good competitive singles in Let's Go, if you even think that existed, because of how bad the battling was. It definitely went to timer a lot. I had multiple times I went to timer, and that's probably going to be the case here. Although with Mons not having a lot of access to recovery, and I guess just like how offensive things can get, it probably won't be an issue. But with damage calcs and recording and all that, I have a feeling it will be an issue. But we'll see how it goes down. I would hate for Showdown to be the only way to actually do these leagues. But we are looking into ways to hopefully get it to a 30-minute timer. Supposedly there is a way, but even then, 30 minutes, man, that's still not a lot. We'll have to see how it works out. But nonetheless, I got the number 2 overall pick, so my streak of getting top 3 picks has been just insane. I've been really lucky with good picks, and number 1, Leo actually took Darmanitan, Galeria Darmanitan, of course, the only one that exists in the game. It's really good, but is it number 1 worthy? I mean, it probably is, but definitely is a one-trick pony. It's probably going to either be banned or scarf most of the time, whereas I got probably one of the best mons, or one of the best new mons for draft, and that is Dragapult. Dragon Ghost, very, very, very good typing, man. Offensively, it shreds almost like everything. The only things that kind of deal with it are fat fairy types and fat dark types, I guess. But even then, man, like, it's just so good. One of the fastest mons in the entire format because of how limited the mons are, and it's got very nice, pretty decent bulk as well. 88 HP, 75 defenses, and then a very good mixed a mixed like offensive pool with having base 100, 120 attack and base 100 special attack. So move pool is pretty dang solid. Also got good support in screens and Thunder Wave. Seeing a lot of that in VGC at the moment. just a very good mon to build with, man. I love mons like this that are so versatile. Sometimes it screws me over, but I do like these kind of mons, and I'm sure it's going to be on a top 3 kill leaderboard for this season to come. And, you know, number 2 overall, it was pretty much a no-brainer. Leo kind of helped me out with that as well, so that's kind of the reasoning for it. And there's really nothing else to say. It'll probably do most of its damage during, you know, the battles, so I'll let that speak for itself. But I forgot to mention abilities. All 3 are pretty solid. I'm pretty sure you can get Curse Body too, but Infiltrator and Clear Body are probably going to be the 2 I use the most. Infiltrator is probably the one that's going to see the most usage because it can, you know, ignore screens and go through subs. But Clear Body is useful in case there's some sort of Intimidate stuff going on. So I can just run like Banded Dragon Darts or something like that and not have to worry about Intimidate, you know, coming through and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of useful for that. And Curse Body probably won't be useful unless I'm running like a subset, but even then, Infiltrator is probably going to be run like 80% of the time. So my second pick, I had to wait all the way back a bunch of picks because that was 2 overall. So like Leo mentioned to me before, because Leo kind of helped me draft. Side note about this draft, I was working a lot. I was working 12-hour shifts, 15-hour shifts during this draft. So I told Leo, hey man, for a few of these picks, he straight up drafted him for me, like straight up. Like he made the picks for me. I'm surprised he didn't give me trash, but you know, he was cool about it. So thank you to Leo. Hopefully I can repay him by just beating his ass again in this league. So next pick, we decided to go with Salazzle because I didn't mention this, but one of the few mons that is able to, one of the few types that's able to deal with Dragapult are like Fat Steels and Fat Fairies, like I mentioned. And Salazzle kills them. It destroys them, you know. 2 great abilities. Corrosion is probably the only one that's useful, but Oblivious is you know, useful at times. But great move pool, really good speed, and being able to deal with those steel types and fairy types. Being able to quad resist fairies, pretty solid. With no hidden powers, we don't have to worry about hidden power ground being packed on something that could deal with it. So that's really, really cool. Having hidden power gone kind of sucks for Salazzle, but I think it helps it a lot defensively, as we can definitely check a lot more things and be a little bit more safe when it comes to that sort of stuff. So Salazzle's pretty sweet. Next up, we have the Obstagoon, another mon I wanted to try out. Very, very cool looking mon. 3 fantastic abilities. Probably one of the more sought after Pokemon in draft now because of its abilities and how much fun it can possibly be. Being quad weak to fighting kind of sucks because it is a Mach Punch user. Pretty much can check it all the time. But overall, it's got pretty great stats, and I imagine this thing's going to be pretty key to this to how well we do this season because of its versatility, as well as it's just like great move pool, man. Like this mon it does a lot. Like it can do a lot of things, and I'm very excited to use it. It can deal with those very fat. Well, I guess it doesn't really help at Dragapult in a way. It kind of helps, I guess, being able to switch into dark type attacks and ghost type attacks. But besides that, I mean, it's mainly going to be probably a wall breaker or some sort of maybe a setup sweeper, I guess, if needed. But I mean, there's so many things to do with it, and I can't wait to try it out. So next up, we have the Eldegoss, and Eldegoss is my fat grass type. It's pretty chunky. The HP is kind of bad, but the Spit F makes up for it. Regenerator is pretty awesome. You know, having a Regenerator mon, because a lot of Regenerator mons are not even in this game. So Eldegoss being one of the few is very cool to have on the team. It does what most grass types do. It sits there. It's good Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin's pretty useful. Belichi, it's always going to be annoying. It doesn't get Strength Sap, which kind of sucks, but I mean, that's fine. Move Pool is kind of trash, but I mean, it's a grass type, so it's really not that great anyways. But it's definitely going to be probably a one-trick pony. It's got very poor offense with only base 80, which I mean isn't the worst, but like it's definitely going to always be some sort of defensive wall with Rapid Spin and just Regenerator pivoting. So it could be an issue with timer, but I mean it's pretty solid overall. So nothing else to explain there. Next up, I believe, was Milotic. Milotic was the pick we had with that. Leo actually made these 2 picks. He actually got me Eldegoss and Milotic. Milotic, definitely a very fun mon. I've always wanted to try and draft. I did try it one time, I'm pretty sure, but very, very cool mon. Got 2 pretty great abilities in competitive and Marble Scale. Can be used as needed if I need Marble Scale for some sort of very nice defensive wall. Like when I go up against that Darmanitan, Marble Scale will probably be very, very useful for that. definitely switching to Darmanitan extremely well. Competitive, of course, will be useful if I ever face a Webs team, or if there's Intimidate spam going on, or whatever kind of whatever way there is to lower stats. Milotic will definitely take advantage. And Milotic, it's definitely still solid all throughout this generation. They got a new move, Life Dew, but I mean, there's no reason to use it in singles. I mean, Recover is always going to be better than that. But besides that, it's definitely still got a lot of things going for it. Just being very, very bulky, and being able to Scald Burn things and sit there and recover. It's definitely going to be very useful for the team, and I'm really excited to use it in these new games. Next up, we have another mod. That's a brand new mod, and I definitely look forward to using this thing. It's probably going to be trash, but I figured it could probably do some work. So Ice Scales. Ice Scales is a very cool ability. It doubles the special defense stat. So it's already got base 90 SPDF, which is pretty dang good. So if we were to make like some sort of like Fizz Def set, it could definitely get very, very chunky very, very quickly because of that 123, and then it'll be at a freaking 220 SPDF, and perhaps with some sort of support. It could definitely be very, very threatening. I don't know what kind of set I'd run on this, but it's definitely a very, very decent SPDF, like a special wall with the Ice Scales. Obviously, a fire move will probably just destroy it, but with heavy duty boots, it'll definitely be useful to come in on special attackers. As we do, I think we do get a recovery move, do we? Actually, we don't get a recovery move, so I take it back. We do not get a recovery move, so that's not very useful. But fun fact about this Pokemon, this is the only Pokemon in the game, I'm pretty sure, that will die to hazards. So if you got Stealth Rock, if you have Gigantamax, Copperaj's, Steel Stealth Rock up, and if you have 3-layer Spike. So the 3-layer Spike will do 25%. The 1 layer of Steel Stealth Rock will do 25%. And then Stealth Rock will do 50%. So it's a pretty cool stat about this Frostmoth, but it's not a good one. But obviously, heavy duty boots is probably going to be necessary almost all the time. That way we can ignore the Stealth Rock. Now, if there is an opportunity to perhaps run a different item, that could possibly happen. But I don't really see any sort of scenario in which I don't run heavy duty boots, because of just being able to ignore rocks is really, really cool, man. Cool item, but yeah, I don't know how well this thing's going to do, but it looks fun, and I'm sure maybe it'll do more than I think. So yeah. Next up, we have the Throw. Now, one thing to note about Throw, it is my tier 5 pick, right? And I didn't explain this in the beginning, but tier 5s are the only Pokemons that we can Dynamax, okay? And you can imagine tier 5s they're pretty bad, most of them that are around. However, Throw might be the best Dynamax abuser that we allowed in tier 5. There's some other ones, obviously, but I only say that because when it comes to Dynamax, the only change to the stats are in the HP. So if you Dynamax a Pokemon with a high base HP, it doesn't even have to be high base HP. If they have good defenses and the HP is okay, when you Dynamax them, they're going to get extremely, extremely bulky. So with base 120 HP and base 85 defenses, Throw's going to be extremely, extremely tanky. And with access to Steel Spike and I did get the Steel move, right? Or maybe it doesn't get a Steel move. I thought we did for a second. I guess we don't. Anyways, but with access to ground moves for SPDF raising and of course fighting moves for attack raising, Throw will become very, very threatening. Now, and of course with Guts and Mold Breaker, mainly Guts, like this thing will definitely be a force to be reckoned with. Obviously it's really slow, right? But when you Dynamax, you're going to be extremely fat anyways, so I can imagine Throw being very, very good under Dynamax. Now, I might be wrong about this. It could get shredded, but I think taking Throw a little bit early was very useful because I think it's going to be very hard to deal with all the HP it's going to get and its natural bulk, and being able to boost the SPDF with Earthquakes, being able to raise attack with Max Knuckles, of course coverage moves for all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun using Throw. I can't wait to try it out. Next up, we have Gardevoir. Honestly, I don't know why I picked this. towards the end, I definitely made some questionable picks, but I felt it's pretty solid. You know, if Psychic Fairy hits a lot of stuff. Always got great abilities in Trace and Synchronize, mainly Trace. But I mean, my Gardevoir has always been pretty cool. Way back from when I even started doing draft, but I never got a chance to try it out. Definitely gets cool moves: Healing Wish, Calm Mind, Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp is an interesting move that'll probably be used a lot, especially in these games. Teleport, it can actually, get acts as like a baton pass. That was changed, I believe, in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. It wasn't like that before, so that'd be kind of cool to mess with in case I want to make some switches. So like a Specs Psychic, maybe Moonblast, Teleport, be kind of cool, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. Nothing really else to explain about that. Next up, we have Abomasnow. Abomasnow, I've used this in draft once or twice, and I do love it. I actually used it. The first time I used it was in the, I believe it was in the Summer Showdown. No, it was in the that All-Star bracket. I forgot what it was called. It was that short one where I went to the top 4. I lost to Techno. I drafted Rain in the beginning. I forgot what it was called, but that's when I first tried this thing out, and this thing is really, really good. And with Hidden Powers gone, HP Fire isn't going to be such a nuisance for me. I'll just have to watch out for like random Mystical Fires, because it seems like a bunch of Pokemon got Mystical Fire and Heat Wave in this game. But overall, like, Abomasnow is really solid. Grass Ice is really good offensively. It deals with like fat waters and like I don't know. It's just really good. I said it was good offensively, but it really isn't that great offensively. The typing, it's got good enough coverage though to make up for it. Of course, Ice Shard is going to be very useful. Aura Veil is something that definitely going to be on the lookout for, because setting up my own Hail and Aura Veil could definitely be a very, very discount Alolan Ninetales, but I mean, this thing can pack a punch. So perhaps you could see that running around with Frost Moth or maybe Dragapult. So we'll have to see how Abomasnow pulls through. I think he could definitely be a sleeper mon for MVP on this team, given its support role and having reliable Ice Shards as well. Also gets Leaf Storm in this game. I'm pretty sure it never got Leaf Storm before. So having a strong, like being able to run like Leaf Storm and then run like a full-on like physical set, like Wood Hammer and Ice Shard, could be a very useful move to use throughout the season. And finally, we have Braveheart, popular mon in doubles right now. Very good abilities in singles as well, with Defiant and Sheer Force. Mainly Defiant, but Sheer Force can definitely have use as well. Obviously, I can't Dynamax with this thing, otherwise it'd be kind of busted. But overall, Braveheart has always been fun. Having a Defogger and being able to have very, very strong Brave Birds and ignoring Intimidate is always very cool. But besides that, it's not going to really do much. Nothing special. Just having an extra ground immunity. Because prior to having this, I only had... I didn't have a ground immunity. I only had a Resists and Abomasnow and Eldegoss. So I felt it was fine getting Braveheart as my ground immune. Probably not the best immunity, but I mean, it'll probably be fine. So yeah, that is the team. That is the Houston Team Rockets team for Season 1 of the GDL, the Galar Defenders League. Let me know how you guys feel about the team. Sorry for that stutter. I'm really thirsty. Now, the one big flaw about this team, and you guys probably noticed it by now, is that I had no ground type. I personally don't think it's going to be an issue, because a lot of the electric types are probably not going to be very good. I just don't fear them in this format right now. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. But if it does become an issue, I'll definitely look into some trades. But I just don't see it being an issue. I have plenty of resists, and I have plenty of mon that take advantage of it. So I'm not really too worried about it yet. But obviously, ground type is like one of the best types offensively and defensively in this game, just in general. So maybe I'll want one later on. I'm not sure. But besides that, guys, that is all I got for y'all today. I know I apologize to John Jr. and the rest of the league for not using the slides, but I did not feel like making my slides. I have some stuff to do, and I have some other series to work on and other stuff working on for school. But with all that being said, y'all, thank you for coming out, and I will see you guys for week 1 of the GDL. I'll see y'all then. Go Rockets.